Yeah, those
They're
Inter
top of the
fans
league.
tucking themselves up into bed tonight, safe in the knowledge they are 6 points clear in the race for the Scudetto over their great rivals AC Milan. Remember, on Sunday, we've got 4 of the top 5 playing each other. AC Milan, Napoli, Roma and Juventus all playing each other. So it's going to be a really interesting weekend in Italian football. Michael, obviously the players, and rightfully so, will get the headlines. But this was also a game where we saw the game management from a manager in Christian Chivu. He's been in for some criticism sometimes, particularly when they've played against the big teams this season. But this was a game, albeit against a smaller club, where he got things right.
Yeah, look, every single game matters when either you're a young player, but especially when you're a young coach. And I said it before that Christian Chivu is still vying for credibility, not amongst Inter fans, but within that locker room, within that dressing room, right? And he's chosen the best player right now, who has said is the heart and soul of this Nerazzurri side. It's not Lautaro Martinez, although he gets his goals, and he got a goal today, but it's Federico Dimarco. Choosing him, the spark plug, to come in. You really saw this side come to life and go into another gear, and it's really fun to see young players as well, like a Pio Esposito, learn from a Dimarco, but Chivu got it right, and it really showed. I mean, they had 34 shots on the day. When was the last time you saw Inter have 34 shots? It's insane, right? But it was all about the 3 points, and it was all about setting the tone for the weekend.
For more on all things Scudetto, let's chat to Marco Messina, who joins us live now on the show. Marco, great to see you as always. Serie A, as we know, not always known for that many goals and really entertaining games. Often it's quite a defensive league, but this was a great advert. 6-2, we absolutely loved it.
As I'm often reminded by Troidini, and we were texting back and forth. I texted him at halftime. I said, okay, here's your moment. You want to tune into a game with a lot of goals, and we go back and forth about some of the mistakes. It was an absolutely crucial one for Inter to not slip up in, with Juventus and Napoli having to play this weekend, and Roma and Milan. Of course, the race for the top of the table in Serie A is just incredibly competitive. Inter couldn't slip up to Pisa, and it shows you that every Serie A match, you need to stay focused. You need to be concentrated. If you dip off a little bit, which is the way Inter started this match, sloppy, careless, that's what teams like Pisa could do. And then, of course, the quality was shown from Inter. And Federico Dimarco, a man who I said last week is the MVP for Inter on this season. He's just unbelievable what he brings to this team. They showed their quality, and Chivu once again got it right.
Marco, talk to me more about Dimarco. I mean, with his cameo today, he becomes the first Inter player or defender to come off the bench and even have the impact he did. I think 1 goal, 2 assists, being involved in 3 goals since the 2004 and 2005 season. How far can he take his game, and how far can he take this Inter side, given what we saw today?
I just see a huge drop-off when Dimarco's not there for Inter. There was a stat as well last week that he's a wing back, so he has to attack and defend. He had more chances created this season than Michael Olise and Lamine Yamal. So the fact that when he gets to the attack, he becomes a threat for this team. He becomes like a 10. He's so good. His service and delivery inside the box is second to none. I think it's some of the best in all of Europe. He's mentally just always up for it in the big games. Obviously, last season, the end of last season, it was a difficult one for him against PSG. He actually just spoke after the match and said, for a month, I didn't speak to anyone. I just tried to see what can I improve in my game. And when he's not there, Inter are just not as good of a team in terms of the goals and the assists. We're also seeing him play a lot more minutes than we did under Simone Inzaghi. That was one of the big criticisms. And Inzaghi and Dimarco said, Inzaghi would take me out in the 60th minute. But now that he's playing more, he's actually getting more fit. So it's unbelievable to watch him. Just an incredibly technical player. Also understands Inter. I think that's something that we don't often talk about. Just he's a boy that's an Inter fan. And I always think that they give a little bit more. They're important in a squad. So I love watching Dimarco play. He's one of my favorite players in Serie A.
Marco, just quickly, I wanted to get your perspective. Something Michael and I were talking about earlier on during the game coverage was obviously they were forced into it, Inter, because they went 2-0 down early. But after that, they played such really entertaining attacking football going forward. They've got so many really strong players going forward. Are you surprised that they don't use that tactic as often as they do in Serie A?
Yeah, I think, I guess you could say that Inter, when Chivu took over, he was thinking about changing the formation, right? We saw it in the Club World Cup. And then he went back to the basics, and he went back to what Inzaghi did with the Inter, because this still is a lot of Inzaghi's team, but he's just focused on the man management more. The story is that they don't always do it in the bigger games, and I think that is what you're referencing, and we know that their ceiling is higher than what they've achieved in Serie A in the past few seasons. They should be winning it more than they have. Trying to go far in all these competitions has certainly hurt them. But I also think there's a level of competitiveness within this squad that's improved, and they're still trying to find that balance. You can criticize the right-hand side where Luis Enrique is there and he's not doing it often enough, so sometimes they are reliant on only going to the left, and I think they're trying to mix that up. But the fact that they have those players on the bench and a weapon in Francesco Pio Esposito to just send the ball into the box and try to find a header, I do agree with you, though. I do think that they can do it more often, and they need to start doing that more in the big games as well.
Yeah, they proved here that they can rip teams to shreds. Why they don't go out and try and do that.